Hello, my brothers and sisters on the Dragon's Path. My name is Tim Heijen, and I am a dragon witch, and these are my forests. Of course, these are not really my forests, but these are the forests that I can write books about, of everything that I've seen inside of these forests. These are gigantic. I've lost my way a couple of times. I've seen things inside of this forest, but I love it. I love to go inside of, whenever I have the chance, whenever I don't have to go to work, I go inside of this forest. And every time when I enter this forest, I can feel this forest so alive. I can even smell my goddess Tiamat here. She's so close to me here in this forest. But it's much more than that, you know. I don't understand how people, how humans go inside of a building trying to please a god they have nothing in common with, and try to get out of there as fast as possible because they feel obliged to do that. They have to do it to please a god, or maybe because of culture and doing whatever a guy says in front. Here I do my own thing, and I just now did an amazing but gigantic ritual together alongside with my dragon, and I loved every second of it. I desired it. I wanted to do it together alongside with the dragon. I desired to do this ritual. That is what I don't understand from humans. They just need to, they have to. You know, as a dragon witch, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to worship the dragon. That is not what the dragon told us. The dragon doesn't worship, you don't have to worship the dragon. They never desired it to worship. You know, worship in a way is giving energy to a god that demands energies. But that is not what Tiamat said, that is not what Leviathan said, and about him that I want to talk about. You know, I did rituals because I desired it. Because my only desire is to be with my dragon and to answer the questions that I have from my own path. Because after 7 or 18 years on the Dragon's Path, knowingly on the Dragon's Path, I still have a lot of questions. And I want to answer them. And sometimes I do rituals in a way to understand what I have to do, or things like this, what is going on. But not much more than that. I don't have, for example, desire for power. I don't have desire for wealth. I don't have desire for that. I just want to be with my dragon, and that is where Leviathan comes in. You know what Leviathan is, my brothers and sisters? He is the god that is with all of us. With every single one of us, even though you don't even feel him, you don't even realize that he is a part of you. He is always a part of you. Even if he is not your main dragon god, he will always be a part of you, because he can be compared to what they call inside of religion Saint Peter. He is the judge of heavens. He will let everyone in who deserves it. But that is a bit actually what Leviathan is. Leviathan comes with all of us, and he will always, he is the one, he's a very strict teacher. Leviathan is dark, but he's a very strict teacher. In a way, he wants you to see the light. He always wants you to see the light, and in order for you to see the light, you also need to connect with darkness, and that is his specialty, so that you can connect with his darkness. His darkness actually is like the void. It's a reflection of who you really are. It's your darkness that is Leviathan showing to you. And Leviathan is the judge. After a while, he decides if you are left inside of the dragon realms or not, or you stay inside of the void forever. And that is what people just don't realize. They just need to do their thing. They need to connect with what is truly theirs. They don't have to connect with culture. And sometimes it drives me crazy how people shut their ears whenever I'm trying to say something to them. That actually they shouldn't listen to their priests. And that is what people sometimes are actually angry for me, for what I'm actually trying to say. Whenever I try to tell you something, that, for example, if you do rituals, you have to listen to your own instincts. You have to listen to your own heart, your own mind. You have to be guided by your own draconic spirit in doing rituals and dragon magic. You have to do it from yourself, from your own heart. You don't, whenever I did this ritual here, every single one, every human being in this entire world is gone for us, but to be together. It has to be just us, me, my dragon, Tiamat, we are the only ones, but also Leviathan. And that is, Leviathan always sees this. But whenever I do a ritual like this, I don't do it with the intention of gaining something. The only thing that I want to gain is that we are together. And that makes us a dragon witch, not simply a witch, but a dragon witch. We are connected with dragons. And so, of course, with all of this, I learned much more about our dragon spirit, our humanity, and how everything is. A dragon ritual, or awakening. An awakening in itself is a rebirth. It all starts together, and you are seeing much more, seeing what the eye normally cannot see, because you are awakened with a dragon eye. You see how humans are, and that is sometimes painful. It's painful, actually, after these 18 years, to see how humans are, how people are destroying the forests and building places of worship, building, churches and mosques and things like this, all in order to please a God they don't have anything in common with. While when I enter this forest, I don't want to please anyone. I just want to please my own self. With going inside of the forest, with being with my dragon. Even before I go to sleep, for example, I think always of my dragon, or I cannot sleep. If I cannot think of the dragon, I will not sleep well. That is how it should be. That is how I cannot say to you how to do it, how to desire, how to force yourself. We cannot force anything, and that is what Leviathan sees. If you try to force yourself, and if you are not supposed to do that, you are not supposed to force yourself, because Leviathan sometimes calls us unwelcome inside of the dragon realms, simply because we force ourselves. We lost the dragon spirit, we lost everything, and we don't even realize it. We just take it for granted sometimes, and that is our humanity. We take it for granted, just like these people going to church take it for granted that they will go to heaven, even if they are the vilest evil people on earth, but they go to church. That is fine. It's like this Putin guy from Russia. He goes to the forest, not the forest, he should go to the forest, but he goes to church and burns a candle, and later on he's responsible for thousands of deaths every single day. And so, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. They are doing it for peace, while in fact they are doing nothing. They are so blind for whatever they are doing. And that is what I cannot see from people. That is what I see from people. I cannot understand from people anymore of how blind they are inside of their culture, of what they actually don't see anymore. Whenever I go inside of this forest, I always, and that is the first thing that I want to do, I want to do this ritual together. Because this ritual that I did last night here in this forest, during the night, I'm really truly a dragon witch, I'm trying to do this with a fire. What I'm doing there is just for my eye only, you can say. And that I desired every single part of it. And that is why I cannot share with you dragon magic, specific dragon magic, because it might not work with you. And Leviathan will not appreciate that. You have to work this from yourself, from your own heart, from your own desires. And that is what a dragon is. You cannot tell a dragon what to do. And that is the same thing with dragon witches, or everything that has to do with dragons. Dragons are, some people call dragons stubborn, but they are not. They simply don't copy. They don't mimic. And that is what humans are. They are always mimicking each other. And that is what dragons are not. You have to understand dragons in this way, very much. And after these 18 years of trying to understand dragons, I came to discover much more of how dragons cannot mimic anyone. That is why dragons sometimes have fights with each other. They have arguments. They are not all together the same. And that is also with us. We are all not the same. And once your draconic awakening occurs, you understand much more of that we cannot be copied. And that Leviathan is trying to see how your path is going. And trying to, sometimes actually I say to the people, sometimes they say to me, what will you do once you stand before God? And I said, I don't know. What will you do once you stand before Leviathan? And they said, of course, Leviathan is not real. Leviathan is bad, evil, demonic, whatever. But I've stood before Leviathan. Even my mother stood before Leviathan because I did a ritual that was so much coming from the heart that even my mother could see Leviathan in human form and in dragon form, and even saw his wolves. That is the reason why she came back to me with all of the stories that I did, that she said to me. But I did this ritual out of my mind, my heart, and everything draconic inside. That is how powerful it can be. You can even send people to the void, to the realms. You can do all of this. But how to do it? How to do so? And that is what people just hate of what I'm doing, actually. How to do it. I can do it, but I cannot tell you how to do it, because you have to do it from your own mind and heart. A dragon's heart is the most purest of them all. A dragon's mind is so clear. That is why I say they are the closest to gods, whatever you can say, whatever you can realize. Dragons are the closest of them. That is why I always call them children of the gods, and that is precisely what they are. They are the children of the gods, and that because people always are lured into power and wealth, and that is why they worship the wrong gods, because you cannot tell me that the Abrahamic God is a good God. Everything that's even standing in the book is pure horror, pure disgusting horror. If this God was real of Abrahamic religions, he is the purest being in being, horrible, a horrible being. But dragons are pure of heart, pure of soul, pure in everything. That is the first thing that came to mind whenever I saw my dragon at the first time, and I felt my dragon at the first time. I felt purity, pure purity, and I was finally released of human culture. I could see much more than others. Of course, sometimes it hurts, but you are free, you are relieved. And that is exactly what the dragon realm, the dragon awakening does. A dragon awakening releases you from your humanity. And that is, it's up to you. And ever since, I have to wear a mask, a human mask, so that my the people by my side don't say that I'm going crazy. Because even in the first years, I thought of myself that I was going crazy too. But now, after 18 years, it's not me that is going crazy, but I was escaping from out of this culture, escaping from humanity. But yeah, and now I do my rituals all together with the dragon. Even though people say how sometimes crazy it is, I realize it. How what I say whenever I say there is a dragon by my side, I realize this very much. Don't think that I don't realize it. How it sounds with people who are not on the dragon's path. But then again, are religions that different? I don't think so. Whenever I enter this forest, I want to stay in this forest. It's just because it gets dark that I have to go out of it, or I have to go to work, or I have to go to sleep. But if people go to church, then they are obliged to do it. They have to do it. They are forced to do it, or else their God will do something. That is just ridiculous. That is insane. How humanity is so far away, and that you can see it with your own draconic eyes, how they are so far away from anything that is being called freedom. And that is what that is also, you have to remember yourself. Leviathan is the dragon god with every single one of us. You will always connect with Leviathan. If you have difficulties, if you don't know it anymore, then just with all of your heart, with all of your emotions, try to ask help from Leviathan. Because Leviathan, even though he's the darkness, he's the void, he's whatever, he tries to lure you into the light, wherever you belong. He's not the judge because he wants to judge, or he sets the rules. Of course not. He doesn't set the rules. Leviathan is not a rule setter, but he is the judge from where he is. He has to protect the dragon realms. He has to protect this place from humans, from whatever human is behind you. And that is what happens once inside of your dragon's path. You are getting lesser and lesser of that humanity. And so you are actually much more exploring your draconic side. And that is what Leviathan is a perfect guide And Leviathan will be there. Leviathan will be by your side. Don't see it that he is not there, or you cannot feel him. With every single one of us that has a dragon ability, or maybe had a dragon soul, or you even just love dragons. If you love dragons this much, I'm convinced that Leviathan is very close to you. Leviathan is the judge of the void, but is also a perfect father.